Welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and the reason we do these videos is to really just add interpretation to the daily list of homes. Anything that's come out in the last 24 hours, we're talking about it, and today there's 11 listings. So if you want to come have a look at any of them, just give us a call at 905-693-9346 or just reply to any of our emails as well. Let's start off 1380 Costigan number 18. It is at $319,800. Now, in the last 24 hours, we've had two of these that have been sold conditional, meaning someone's put an accepted offer in. Well, the sellers have agreed to the offer, and they were both listings that were listed under $320,000. So I hate to say I told you so, but that's what it is. This one's a 2-bedroom, 3-washroom. It looks like an end unit, and so the main floor is just the kitchen open. It's probably like 1,250 square feet. That's what most of them are. That open door on the left is actually the powder room, and then you've got the 2 bedrooms upstairs. There is a full bath, and plus there's an ensuite as well. Lots of stuff in here that they could have taken out in terms of just stuff, baby wipes, clearing the counters, all good stuff. So it's actually the first one I've seen that people have semi-moved into. It looks like there's still stuff to be moved in the garage. So anyways, $319,800 is probably within range of selling for sure. 383 Main Street, number 612. It's at $369,900. There's no photos, but there is a virtual tour you can check out, although I think that just goes to the agent's website. When you look at this one here, a 2-bedroom, 2-washroom, maintenance fees are $167, and so the building itself is it's a net zero building, which means it actually recuperates more energy than it uses, which is pretty amazing. It's known throughout Canada. It's a very famous building, the Green Life building. When you look at the size of it, 1,300 square feet. So there's two issues here. So the first one is that you can find cheaper 2-bedroom condos. For example, the one that we just profiled a day or two ago, the one that we have for sale at 1379 Costigan in the Park side. Now, so if you just needed 2 bedrooms, you don't necessarily need to pay $369,000. You can pay low 300s. Now, the other factor at work is that these really are worth $300 a square foot. If you look at the actual what Costigan sells for, what these ones sell for, they're within that range. So you do 300 times 13, it actually gives you more than what these guys are asking. So I do think that there is value here. I just don't know if someone's just going to pay for square footage to pay for it. That is a good price though. That is definitely something that you don't see many 1,300 square foot condos period in Milton, especially in a building that I think has so much to offer. So Kingsley Court is 409. This really a home that needs some TLC is for sale on the same street for $40,000 less, and it's got an addition with the 4th bedroom. Hard to say from this one here. I would expect it to be maybe in a little bit more upgraded state for the 409 asking price. There is a detached garage, which does add value for sure, and it looks like there's a finished basement as well. But a lot of the value on these ones is how have the windows been maintained, how's the furnace, how's the AC, because those are your big ticket items. The cosmetic stuff generally pays for itself if you're buying at the right price, but those are the kind of things you don't get money back for. Clark Boulevard is at 449. It's a Hayden model, so it's like 35 square feet. I don't have the floor plans in front of me. Front door, you can see it opens up to a big living dining room. It's almost like a bigger version of the Baker one that we profiled for $400,000. Just more space, 3 bedrooms upstairs plus a finished basement. Now with that one being 200 square feet smaller and listed at $400,000, I hope they sold over asking. These guys definitely need to be under $450,000, but they do have some competition for homes that are bigger than them, but the total finished area is probably pretty similar. So anyways, to make a long story short, they'll put it here. I'm not sure if they're going to be successful or not, just because the sales have been all over the place, but I think it was probably a pretty wise decision. I mean, you don't want to put it for for a number that you know it's going to sell quick. I mean, you kind of see if there's a buyer for it, competitive value. So this one here, here's an example. So for $10,000 more, you're getting a 1,900 square foot home, but it doesn't have a finished basement. right across from a woodlot too. It's actually got a nice view from the front door, and the home itself is probably around the corner on about 10 years. It's got a nice glass shower here too. It looks like it is a jacuzzi tub. Most of them are just soaker tubs. This one has the jets inside. It's a 3-bedroom, which means you get the laundry upstairs, plus there's a little computer nook. And yeah, very, very, I think, comparable to what else has been selling in the last 60 days. It's a good listing. 649 Armstrong is at 539, and so you've got a double car garage. Now I realize it may be a convenience thing, that maybe it's easier on someone's schedule to shoot at night, but it never looks good. I mean, if you compare this to anything else in the range, this first photo is less desirable, and that's just the way it is. It's just facts. And when you're competing in this kind of range with this kind of money, I would think that you want to give yourself every advantage possible. Inside the home, there are some upgrades. They've done the white risers, and you can see that it's really an open concept main level. Granite counters, it looks like, California shutters, finished basement. The thing with Armstrong is it's a little bit busier. Like, it's really one of the only feeder streets to get into the subdivision between Thompson and 4th Line. There's not a whole lot of options, so Armstrong becomes a street that a lot of people use to access. There's a school right at the end of the road, so during school time there's a lot of pickups and drop-offs and buses and everything else. So for that reason, I don't know if I love this home. I don't think the pictures do it a lot of justice. Harken Place is 608, and we're looking at pretty decent finishes. I'm not sure if that's a laminate floor in the family room. I would hope it's hardwood. I think most people looking for a home at this level over 600 would really expect hardwood floors. A leverage point is to change the light fixtures out. It can make a big difference, and it's not that expensive. Those lights have been used by the builders for 40 years. You can see they've done it in the dining room. And overall, 3,000 square feet. You've got 3 full washrooms upstairs. I like how they highlighted that right underneath the lot size. And you're gonna have to pay for some fencing, but overall I think this one's a pretty good deal at 608. There are even homes at 629, 639 for 3,000 square feet that these guys are undercutting. So Rolfe Terrace, 2,900 square feet. Look at this, 654.9. Also a very nice house. It's a little bit long and narrow if you go inside. I find this layout is a little long and narrow. Hardwood on the second floor, which we talk about in some of our episodes, probably gets you about half the money that you spend on it, whereas on the main floor can be a real value booster. So personal preference is what I'd say. If you're going to do hardwood upstairs, do it for your own personal taste, not because it necessarily returns an investment. The landing would return higher than the bedrooms. 654. I don't really see this one selling at 654. You're gonna be really, really tight on your price range up there. Like, you can miss it by $5,000. So Freeman Trails at 665. There are some photos of the outside. There's not much of the inside. We did see this home before Christmas. It was listed, and the same way the paint outside is a little maybe not your first choice. Pink garage doors and kind of a yellowish green color here. The inside, I think, needs to be painted, but you've got a great forest behind. There's things you can change, there's things you can't change. Unfortunately, there are buyers that can't see past some pretty easy to change stuff, but the layout's pretty good. I think the home itself is rounding the corner between 2,500 and 3,000 square feet. There's a finished basement, the forest, so on paper there's value. Freeman can get busy, but Ferguson takes some of the pressure off of there too, going north-south. So Holmes Crescent is about 2,839 square feet. Really nicely done inside. I mean, you can see the waffle ceiling, the wainscoting, the built-ins here. Awesome stuff. So this house here, really what you're looking at, the math equation, if we use the assumption that a decent 3,000 square foot home is around 6 right now, you look at this one here, you say someone's going to pay for the premium lot, right? So you've got ravine behind, you also have the pie-shaped lot. What's that worth? What's it worth for some of the landscaping? You typically don't get all your money back from that. But then it's inside finishes and saying, okay, above and beyond, how much more is it worth? These guys are banking on $200,000. it may or may not happen. I think that a home like this with this many upgrades can really be very exciting for some buyers. And the last one is London Terrace. It's at 929. It's a 31 square foot home, stone and stucco on the outside, very well decorated. I think that this looks like it's right out of a magazine. It's beautiful, and so we did have a bit of a boom time for homes in the 900,000 range, probably between about July and September. Then it really kind of quieted down. Like this one a lot. There was another one that was listed last year on Playfair that I think is just beautiful, pretty close to this size, but a full-on finished basement. So I thought Playfair was beating these guys. Not sure this price is going to work again because it's a quieter range, but I also think that comparing across and saying what else is for sale, most of the stuff is no longer for sale, but if Playfair comes out for around this price, it's definitely going to steer people in that direction. So that's the list for today. If you have any questions, give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you with your plans to buy a home, sell a home, invest a home. Our vision is to really just keep you safe through this process, do a really good job, get the marketing out on the sale, and we've got a list of about 10,000 people that received Milton Daily Homes. So right away, there's a big advantage that we offer versus a lot of other agents. So anyways, if you want to talk about that, just reach out to us and have a great day.